Hey everyone, so today we're gonna do a different kind of Christmas ornament. So for this I'm using this styrofoam base, which I painted twice on both sides with white paint, and of course let it dry between each layer. Then I have this custom printed rice paper, which I glued on both sides with decoupage glue. As you can see, I didn't tear up the rice paper because this one is flat, the ornament is flat, so there is no need for do that. Just make sure you use a good amount of decoupage glue, but make sure there is no excess of the glue because that will dry out white, not clear. I did it on both sides, and after it was dry it was time to paint the rest of the ornament and a little bit of blending as well. So firstly I just painted everything around with ivory color, and then I did some shadings as well on. Luckily there was not much to be painted, so here I am doing some blending and shading of my images. And for this, as usually, I use my fingers because that is the only way I can do it. After everything was dry, I use my trusted glitter decoupage glue, which I applied again on both sides and let it dry again, of course. And then it was time to seal it, and for this I am using pouring glaze. Of course you can use varnish as well, but pouring glaze will give my ornament a nice shiny look. So I applied up to 4 layers of this glaze and let it dry between each layer, of course, and it will give a nice shiny look. And now it is time to decorate the side of my ornament, and for this I am rolling out some air drying clay, and I'm rolling it to be a really very thin sorry, and because otherwise it will crack. So I'm gluing it with some express glue from Pentart, and I went all way around my ornament to do this. So I just applied the clay on it, and then I took off the excess of the clay, of course, before it dried with my spatula. So I just took off the excess here on both sides of my ornament, as you can see here. And then I continue working on it. So the next step was to measure the parts, and now with my spatula I'm just doing like a V image. So I'm just alternating that, and then on both sides I use my pearl mold, which again I glued with my express glue. So on both sides of my ornament I did it at the edges of my ornament, and I went all the way around, of course, here as well, and making sure it is really glued to it. So I'm applying a little bit of pressure as well. And then on top there was time to put the cup in because it is an ornament, so I did that, of course. And then I decorated it with some holly and some like a clay bowl and some berries as well, and a teddy, because there is a teddy on the image. So I was like thinking, okay, let's put a teddy on top as well. But of course you can put everything you want to, or nothing. It's up to you. I just decorated my top like this, and then I let it dry, and after it was dry I painted the whole thing with brown acrylic paint. So I'm in the clay part, of course, and then I took it off with wet towel, and then I let it dry before continuing working on it. And if you like these kinds of videos, please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please do give me a nice comment or thumbs up. It really does help me grow, and it shows me that you like what I create. So I'm taking the excess, and now it is time to paint the rest. So I did it like this. I just alternate this red color with 2 shades of green. So I did that like on each triangle. I did it like painting it, and then I took off the excess with a wet towel, as you can see here, just like this. And then it was time to paint the top of it, so I paint the wholly green, of course, the leaves, the bow red, and the berries red, and my teddy I just painted brown, but not much because I kind of like the way he looks. And now I am alternating my pearls. So really I was hoping to count but I did. Okay, I didn't make any mistakes. So I did that, and then on top with the dabber and white paint, I just applied a little bit of paint for like a snowy look, and then with dry brush and white paint I like took off the excess, and then I just brush it on my ornament on the clay part as well. Then I let it dry, and then inside my triangles I used metallic paint. So I just use this kind of paint inside my ornament. As you can see here, I'm just using it and painting it. And then after that was dry, it was time to seal my ornament, and for this I am using matte varnish, of course only on the clay part of my ornament. And then if you think your images are not shiny enough, then just use some more glaze. And now a little bit of wax paste. I just put it just a little bit on the clay part of my ornament, and I only use this one, the golden one, and I went all the way around. And then on top, for like a snowy look, I use this snow crystal paste, which I applied with the dabber again, just a little bit. And then as it was still wet, I applied glitter as well. So as you can see, my glitter, well, glitter is everywhere right now. Okay, and that's it. Actually, we are all finished, and my drum inspired ornament is finished here. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you got inspired, maybe making your own. Let me know in comments below, and until next time, bye.